like random hole. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to spend some time taking you through my top 10 Butterick dress patterns. There is one little apron pattern in the end there, but for the most part it's 9 dresses. I guess these can kind of be split into 2 categories, from the ones that I've actually made before and then others that I really like but I haven't gotten around to making yet. Yeah, I guess we can jump right in. Number 10, like I mentioned, there is one apron pattern in this and it is my most recent purchase. It's Butterick pattern 5509, which is essentially just a history costume pattern for an apron. I was going to go to the Abbey Medieval Festival this year, but I didn't get around to doing that, and part of this pattern was for that costume. I still 100% intend on making it, just the timeline on it is a little bit longer now, and that means I can take my time and make it look really nice. I'm really excited to try view E and even just try and incorporate it into like a casual dress, or maybe A and make it a skirt. I'm really kind of into like the history bounding things at the moment, so I think that would be really cool. I haven't made it before, so please comment down below if you have and you have any tips and tricks or little hints about the pattern, because sometimes these patterns all have their own little quirks. That's number 10. Number 9 is another one that I haven't made yet, but I really enjoy the pattern. I'm hoping it will fit a little bit better than some of the other Butterick patterns I have, but ultimately, again, that comes down to making a mock-up, and I feel like a broken record in these videos, but I really need to start making mock-ups for stuff and then systematically writing down what they look like so that I don't have to do it every time. So the number 9 pattern in my stash for Butterick is B6212, and it's a retro Butterick 52 pattern, so from their retro collection, and it's a little wrap dress. I particularly like view A, which is this little picnic lady wearing like a gingham and white version of the dress with a little picnic bag. I think that's really cute. I would probably make mine in all black just to start my first one, because I usually end up in a bit of a situation trying to pick contrasting fabrics. I'm not the best, don't have the best eye for that. Yeah, B6212, probably in all black when I do actually make it. And the last of the patterns that I haven't made before but that make it into my top 10, coming in at number 8, is B5880, and it's again a retro Butterick, but this one from 51, released during their 150th anniversary set, I believe. It's B5880, this lovely fitted kind of going out night dress thing, and I would love to make it for my job. I work in a corporate office, and although nobody really dresses up this much, I do, and I really enjoy doing it. And yeah, I think this would be really nice, again in a black. I think that would look really classy. I have shied away from making this one, even though I've had it for a while, because it's so fitted. I'm kind of scared of fitting the bottom half, and just in general, fitted dresses take a certain mood. So I haven't made that one yet, but I'm very excited to do so. Now we're getting into dresses that I have actually attempted to make or made successfully. This one coming in at number 7 is B5708. Again, a retro Butterick collection from 53. I'm really disappointed in this pattern, to be honest. I watched a lady online by the name of Lipsy, I think is her channel. It's a Dutch girl who does amazing sewing videos. I'll link her down below if you want to see more. She made this dress, and I think she had the same fitting issues with it, and I thought I could get away with it by adjusting the armholes to be a little bit bigger, but I'll insert some footage now of what the dress looks like. I just cannot for the life of me tie it in the way that they say. It never stays on your shoulder, and it just doesn't really make sense. Like, how are you ever meant to tie this on your own without... Without like doing some weird shit? And then when you tie it on your own, the ties look awful and there's way too much space at the front. I don't know. I like the dress, like the style or whatever, but it just doesn't fit well. And even when you tie it like underneath, then you just end up with this like random hole. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So I think the change is just to like a flatter bodice in ties will work way better. Or at least like one side and one tie so that you're semi-secure. But yeah, I don't know, it doesn't really work. The only thing left to do on this dress is to hem it, but I kind of don't even want to do that because I don't really like the way it looks. So I love the fabric and the pattern, but I just don't like the top. It doesn't fit well. So I'm thinking of swapping it into more like taking the piece I cut off the bottom and making just normal straps. So cutting it to like a straight hemline, straight neckline, and just adding normal tie straps, because I think that will be, I'll be able to make the ties much longer and carve out the armhole a little bit. In saying that, that takes a lot of effort, and this dress has been on my desk probably for a month and a half now, 2 months. I started making it, realized that it didn't really fit well, and then totally lost sort of interest in the pattern. So I do still like it, and I think it would, you could make it work, but you'd really have to sort out what's going on so that you have enough space in the armholes and not too much space in the neck, because that's what ends up happening with half of these views. Could I have fitted it better? Probably, but I think ultimately it's a little bit to do with the pattern as well. I also don't super love just straight up gathered skirts, and that kind of has a particular look to it that I think in future, now that I kind of know that about myself, I won't be going for full gathered skirts. I might just do circle skirt. The next one coming in at number 6 is Butterick 6211, also a retro Butterick collection. I believe I almost have every single one of the retro Butterick series, and I do love all the dresses, but fit issues is a common theme amongst them. So this one is a lovely, lovely dress visually on the page. It doesn't translate so much in real life, because for a wrap dress, and it is a wrap dress, it's a normal dress front, and the two sort of leaf shaped front bodice pieces come into the front, and the placement of those buttons is extremely important. And I just don't think buttons give you the kind of fit that you need with a wrap dress, or it's really hard to get the fitting to look right. So I made this dress, I got all the way to hemming it, and then I never wore it, so I ended up cutting it into pieces and making other things from it, because it's a lot of fabric in the skirt to just throw away. And I made it from linen, so I really liked it. I wanted to give it a really good go. I'm not really sure how to go about making this one again, but I really would like to make it work, because I think the final result is really nice. In saying that, probably, again, mock-ups. I probably just need to do a proper mock-up and then just work through step by step getting it fitted nicely. Because it's a wrap dress, it's a lot harder to fit. The pieces look a lot weirder. Yeah, I don't know that I'll ever get the mental fortitude to actually fit this one properly, but maybe I'll take it to a class or something, and then that'll give me the resilience to push through with it. But yes, that is number 6. I love the dress, just don't love the execution of it so much. And another one I've attempted to make but didn't like the outcome despite the dress being very nice is B5748, and this is again a retro Butterick series. This one I really liked because it's the back neckline that looks interesting. The bow in this one is at the back, and the back is like scooped down. I love this dress, and the only mistake I made when making it is that I made it from a slightly stretchy fabric, so when it hung on me it just sort of drooped and didn't really look nice. And I think this dress really requires like a sort of fitted nice bodice that's going to hold you up, and then a skirt to follow. Not, I kind of made it out, I think the linen I've used had a bit of a stretch to it, and it just didn't work out well. And ultimately the fabric recommendations don't talk about stretch fabric, so I should have just followed the instructions. It has a side zipper, which I don't mind side zippers. They're slightly harder to install, but ultimately they fit the same, and it's sometimes nice not to have them all closed at the back, because you can get it on and off yourself. So that's that one. Coming in at number 4 is a dress that I made and made successfully, I think. It's B6676. It's a Butterick, but this time not from the retro series. I made view B when I made this, and I really liked how it turned out, but I just don't reach for the dress as much. I think because the skirt is not as full. I'll put some footage here of me wearing the one that I have. It was back when I didn't really have a budget to buy nice fabrics, and so the fabric is kind of, it's okay. It's not very flattering. Ultimately, I don't really know why. Probably it's too stiff, and so it doesn't make the skirt hit quite right. It's a synthetic something or other that was secondhand, but I really liked the construction. It was super easy. It only has a facing. The point was really easy to sew, much easier than I expected, and the overall shape of it is really flattering. I think if I went and revisited this fabric, this pattern, I could make it look really nice. So I really like this dress, and especially for like office attire, corporate kind of vibes, it works really well. I just need to find a fabric that fits well. Now we're getting into the top 3. These are patterns I've made, most of them multiple times, and I really, really enjoy the outcome. So Butterick B5882 is my go-to dress for a skirt that I love the fullness of. I use the skirt of this way more often than I use the entire dress. I have made the entire dress. It doesn't fit me anymore, but I'll put some footage in here of it. I'm a little bit bigger now than when I made it, and because it's so fitted, even the smallest change in weight means you can't close it up anymore. It was also the first time I did a boned corset, and I didn't cover the ends, so at the waist sometimes when you sit down the boning pokes you in the stomach because it's that Ridgeline or whatever that you sew over, and it's kind of scratchy on one end, so where you cut it it's kind of sharp and scratchy. But I completely hacked the top of this. I don't like the pattern's original bodice. It just doesn't make sense with where the pleats and stuff hit, so I ended up deepening the bodice so that it looked more, I don't know, it just looked better. And I used normal straps instead of the all-around strap that it has in the pattern. So I guess it's my favorite pattern, but not at all how the pattern actually wants you to make it. And I think I've seen that online as a recurring sentiment with this dress, that the front bit just looks kind of weird, like a shelf, rather than the way they have you add this strap, continuous strap thing just makes it poke out weird, and it's just odd. But the hack was relatively easy, and I made a video about it on my channel, and I really love this dress. I wore it so much when I actually fit in it, and I've just recently actually finished a dress with the skirt from this pattern and the bodice from another one, and still absolutely love it. It's a great volume of skirt and a great length, and it's really easy to just put together and fit. Yeah, I love the skirt part of this. I'm gonna use it for everything. Coming in at number 2 for my Butterick patterns is B6094. When I got this dress, I didn't think I would love it as much as I did. I really liked the interesting back neckline, the fuller skirt version. I've made every version of this dress so far, and I love all of them. I don't have the fitted one anymore because I'm a little bit heavier than I used to be, and the skirt portion doesn't fit anymore, so I ended up passing that version on. But I do still have the full skirt version, and I'll put some footage of that one in here. It was the second one I made, so I managed to iron out some of the kinks from the first time round. I used really good fabrics. I spent my time making sure that everything fit, and it fit straight out of the box despite the complexity of how it all fits together. I had no fit issues with it. The fabric worked great. The fabric choices worked well. I love this dress. I got this pattern from a secondhand fabric, I can't remember the name now. It was the year before COVID, and everyone came and had a table and shared their old patterns and old fabric, and you swapped it. I got mine from @MeganHandmade. I wrote her Instagram handle here, and yeah, I'm so happy I got this from you. I love this dress, and I've made it heaps. And I probably will continue to make it a lot. I really love that dress. Coming in at number 1 is another one that I picked up from that same market craft swapping kind of suitcase rummagey type thing. Is also one from @MeganHandmade, and it's B5982, a Butterick pattern. The view that I got this for was view B, and I love it. I have made view B once, I've made view A once, I will no doubt make view C. I love this dress. It fits me straight out of the pattern. I have to make no fit adjustments whatsoever, and it's really easy to make. It comes together really easily. I'll put some footage here of view B, which I still have. I also have view A, and I still have that one too. It just might be in the wash at the moment. I love this dress. I have nothing bad to say about this dress. Yeah, the instructions are really straightforward. It's got a slightly gathered waist, which I was just saying I don't love a super gathered waist, but the gathers are just at the front and just at the back. They don't go on the side, which I think is the key here. It doesn't add too much bulk to your waist because the gathers are kind of placed nicely. The zip is at the back. I wouldn't say it's a beginner pattern necessarily because it still has princess seams and stuff, but definitely if you're a kind of intermediate, confident beginner, go nuts. This pattern is amazing. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked seeing my vast, apparently retro collection of Butterick. I didn't realize I almost had pretty much every single one. Not that I've made them all, but I really love Butterick as a dress pattern maker. I mean, I know they're all owned by McCall's now, but I really like the styles that they put out. It's a shame they don't put out more vintage styles. I really wish some of the bigger patterns companies would release some of their kind of retro patterns. They're all pretty much the same as these days. They're just kind of styled differently. You know, the base pattern for them is kind of the same. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like this video and you want to keep watching videos of me maybe making some of these dresses, or want to see some of my previous versions of making these dresses, don't forget to like and subscribe. I upload new videos every month, and I will see you in my next one.